Bienvenida, bienvenido, and wahee. I hope each and every one of you feels welcome. We're going to hop into a deep topic. This topic is one that I hit on earlier when I was creating my content, and I said I'm going to kind of keep it structured because I'm going to hit this topic differently later. Now's the time. Now's the time. We're going to talk about holding people accountable. And when I say holding people accountable, I mean the people that are closest to you, your relatives, spouse, children, BFFs, those people closest to you. The reason I'm going to dive, dive into this topic is because it dawned on me and it hit me very recently that people are full grown adults. They have their issues, their disorders, their malfunctions of the brain, the behavior, the activities of their life, all fully grown adults that are fully responsible for their own, right? You're responsible for your own actions as an adult. But one thing I believe solely and truly, and I do want you to watch this video from start to finish. I want you to drop down in the comments and let me know if you agree. When you do not hold people accountable and you're in their lives and you see that they misbehave, they mistreat people on a regular basis, I think you are just as responsible for their screwed up behavior as they are. Let's get into that. I just said every adult is responsible for their own actions because they're an adult. But if you think about the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child, I believe it doesn't stop there because if you are an adult, you as adults, we have villages. We have a support system. We call them support systems, right? We have a support system. We may be in support groups. We have family that anything happens, you can go to your family, talk to them, lay out stuff on the table, lay it down on a rug. You can, you know, you talk to them about relationship, work related issues. You go to your family, your friends, you go to people and you talk to them. And those people should be able to be mature and adult enough to listen to you and give feedback and advice. If they're not, what are they doing? What are they doing? Why are they there if they're listening to you pour out and something crazy happened on a job, something crazy happened in your marriage, something crazy happened with the kids, and your reaction was just outlandish? Your reaction is just diabolical. And the support system that you have just listens to it and don't hold you accountable. So, example, something happened on a job, co-workers, more than one person disrespected you. You took it for 2, 3 days, and then finally you showed out Friday. It's Friday. You clocking out. You don't even care if you come back to the job. You don't even care if you get fired. You just told it. You just crashed out, lost it. Went off on the three co-workers and the boss for not doing nothing about it. Just showed out verbally. And then went and tore up the break room and stuff. The break room had nothing to do with it. Break room shouldn't have been involved, but you went above and beyond. You don't start tearing up the people. You can be verbal. You can tell people how you feel, but then you don't want to start tearing up things. You don't toast up. Now you owe money because now they're gonna bill you for this damage in this break room. Okay, you're paying for the stuff in the break room that you tore up. Your support system hears you out and they just condone everything. Well, you had every right to do that because that right there is when I say it takes a village to raise a child. As adults, you have support systems. You have people that you pour into or you pour out to with your problems. And if that person will sit and tell you that, well, they shouldn't have bothered you in the beginning, that is not helping you take accountability for your action because you're an adult. Can you imagine how many people get mad on a job? Can you imagine how many people would do a whole crash out as I just described and how many other people would take it to the chin? And like my job and my family and supporting my kids is way more important. I'm going to ignore these clowns on this job. So you have choices and you have options as to how you act. The fact that you chose to act in an immature manner or match their energy of crazy or whatever, that don't mean to make it right because that's what you did. So I sometimes believe grown people that still act that way have never really been held accountable. In some cases, I think you've gone through life with your family and friends supporting your BS, your foolishness, your disrespect, your whatever. They just condone it because you're family and they don't correct the behavior. They don't tell you how, hey, I understand you were upset or whatnot on the job because this, that, or this, or that, or that, or this happened. But listen, I'm gonna need you not to behave like that. That doesn't mean your behavior was right. I think sometimes when grown people hear that accountability from people that care about them, it may change their navigation in life. Like with dad, that's my whole life auntie, and she just like straightened me. Or you may be able to talk to people and say, girl, I don't care how crazy I've acted, my auntie get me straight every time. But when you don't hear people say that ever, you just begin to wonder. So no matter how you've treated people in life, has anybody ever corrected your behavior, or all conversations was kind of like, well, good, you did whatever you feel like you need to do. It don't matter. Well, they shouldn't be bothering you. That's interesting. Um, I really believe that an adult support group that does not hold a person accountable and correct their behavior is part of the problem. You're part of why that person is who they are because you've never helped shape them. You just condone them. And I'm going to give another example of why it's important for someone that love you and care about you to sit your foolish self behind down and tell you that what you're doing is wrong, and I care about you enough to tell you it's wrong, and here's why. Hold on. So can you imagine somebody doing some old devastating stuff? Somebody doing some old mentally and emotionally abusive stuff. They just going in and in and in and in and won't let up off somebody. Do you know somebody can wake up and say no more? Everybody not gonna pack a bag and walk out and leave. Do you know how many people? Let's talk real quick off subject. Let's talk about Gypsy Rose. I don't care whether you believe her story or not. I personally do. But whether you believe her story or not, let's just say we believe the story. Let's take it that route. We believe her mother abused the mess out of her and she got fed up and was like, I need somebody to take her out. That's some people's approach. Like everybody ain't just gonna pack up and leave. Because a lot of people hate the girl and all this hate online and stuff, and she could have just left, she could have left, she was at hospital, she could have told doctors that she could have done all those things. We don't really know the dynamic of what was really going on. So I think one time she did leave and the police took her back to her mom. So a lot of people feel that when you're young and you're a child, you do fear if I tell something, this thing could get turned around where I'm right back in the house. Again, we've seen that with child protective services thousands of times. Kids placed in a home they shouldn't be, then the parent killed them. So it's so many dynamics and stuff. So I ain't gonna get too far off of this. How do you support anybody you care about, their foolishness, but get mad at somebody's reaction to their foolishness? I, you can't make me understand it. If you think you can, drop it down in the comments. I don't care what my people did. You don't get to do anything back. Okay. You may not think a person gets to do anything back, but you don't get to dictate that, number one. And I would say, since you're not being a role model, you're not being the best support system, I would just say, just be prayerful that the person don't do the worst case scenario to the person in reaction because you don't like their reaction. But what if their reaction is just take them out? But you're not talking to them to say, hey, look, I care about you. Could you not do that crazy stuff in case this person flip out and just lose all their mind on you? Could you not do that? That's why I wanted to do this topic. I think it's critical, it's important, it's pertinent. that if you know someone that has a lot of toxic behavior, they like to be in dramatic situations. There's always chaos and pandemonium in their life, on their job, in their marriages, their relationships, and you care about them, you're a part of their care team. Have those conversations, if you will. Hey, how you be treating people ain't cool. Somebody gonna hurt you one day. Stop. And then the sad part is they probably been doing it all their life. Ain't nobody hurt them yet. So it's just like cancer. Folks just keep smoking. They ain't got cancer yet. They ain't died of cancer yet. So they just gonna keep smoking. Some people just feel like, oh, it ain't never happened. It ain't never gonna happen. Baby, we living in crazy times around angry people. So I just wanted to drop that topic. It was heavy on me. And I just kind of wanted to get it out there. And I want to know what you think about it. Do you agree that people should hold people accountable? And I'm going to tag this on in this topic. Nobody's right or wrong about how they was raised. There's no right or wrong. You're raised how you were raised. You don't get to pick your parents. You don't get to pick how they raise you. So there's no right or wrong to how you were raised. But if somebody raised you that way, to stand by and stick by, you know, relatives, family, there's no fault in that. My mother taught me, and I love it. She wasn't right nor wrong. It was her way, and it makes the most sense to me. My mother did not condone wrongdoing. It just makes sense. Because it doesn't make sense to condone somebody for doing wrong. When is wrong ever right? So if somebody's doing something wrong, you can't right that, and you can't comfort that. You can't support that. You can, but it's twisted. That's just my take. Do you agree? My mother taught us you can go to the jailhouse, because that's what she called it. You can go to the jailhouse. You can get in all types of trouble, do whatever you want. If you were in the wrong, don't call me. I used to look like, why are you sitting us down telling us this, the three of us, that it was? I'm like, that's just weird for a mom. She didn't care how weird it was. She said what she said and meant what she meant. Don't call me. You don't have a leg to stand on. If your foolish behind walked out my door and went and did anything you have no business doing and got yourself in trouble, don't call me. I'm not coming to your rescue if you're wrong. Because when you do wrong, the police gonna pick your little behind up and you gonna go somewhere and be punished, and that's just what happens in life. You do wrong, you get punished. Your feet get held to the fire, you get dealt with for your wrongdoing. Don't call me. Didn't really understand as a child. It even made sense as a child, but I was kind of like, the weird part was again your mom is saying don't call her for help. That was the weird part, but it made sense. So I didn't grow up for it to make sense. It made sense when she said it. I'm like, well, that makes sense. You teaching us to do right, and we shouldn't do wrong. And if we do, don't. I'm the person that told you to do right. You didn't listen to me. Don't damn it. Don't call me. It made sense. It made sense. And then she she added to that, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are not at fault, you did not do any wrong, you can feel want to call me because I'm going to go to bat for you. I'm going to fight for what's right when it comes to my child. If you didn't do anything wrong and somebody done wronged you or you done been wrongfully accused, oh, call your mama. Because your mama going to go to hell and war for you and about you. I'm like, okay, mama, come through. It makes sense. But mama used to always say, you ain't got a leg to stand on. That's how she would say it. You ain't got a leg to stand on. That part never made sense. Because even if I go out and do something crazy and the police got me, I still am going to have two legs unless somebody amputated me, shot me in the leg, and my mom did that. But yeah, I'm clowning y'all. We say little sayings, and I be trying to put thought into why did people say stuff they said back in the day. But yeah, she said you ain't got a leg to stand on. I guess there's meaning to it. If I think about it deeply, me and my brain will come up with, oh, it means this. But it just off top don't make sense. You don't have a leg to stand on. I don't know, I guess it's like a kickstand. On the bike kickstand, sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't. When that kickstand was broke, it was there, but when it was broke, it flopped. Maybe that's what she missed. I told y'all if I think about it long enough, I'm gonna come up with something that makes sense. The kickstand will be there, but it's broke. You tell your friends, just prop my bike against the tree. Prop my bike against the house, the brick wall, the building. Why? My kickstand broke. I ain't got a leg to stand on. I will go in the craziest places, y'all. But listen, Mama said you ain't got a leg to stand on. If you're wrong, don't call me. Don't care, don't call me. Don't want to hear it. And she meant that. She meant that. So I want to wrap this topic up as a takeaway, just saying be mindful that if you do have people in your life that you love and care about, that if you take responsibility in their lives and you give opinions and you hear their hardships and their relationships and their issues in life, job, if you're a person that take part in that, then I really strongly suggest don't just support their mess. Be fair and be even across the board. As sometimes when somebody tell you something crazy happened, I used to couldn't stand to hear people tell me, "What did you do?" I'm just telling you, somebody just cracked me across the head with a baseball bat, and you talking about what did I do? Like as if a person can't just blindside knock you across the head with a bat. You ain't done nothing. You was sitting there having a drink, or you was sitting there eating, or you was just sitting there watching TV. But in most cases, somebody did something. If somebody tell you some crazy story about, well, this happened, da 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 da, I now get, well, what did you do? Some people won't ask that question because they don't care what you did. Let's sit in that for a quick minute before I wrap this video up. They don't care what you did. You family. You do whatever you want to do. But people better not do nothing to you because I got an issue with it. And I'm going to take up and have a problem with it. Yeah, and I'm going to be in a funk and have all types of things going on. My feelings and emotions is negative against a person that responded to the crap you did. But we ain't going to talk about what you did. They shouldn't have done nothing bad. You should have been able to get away with whatever it is you did, and they just sit in it and take it and deal with it. That's about the most foolish, crazy, convoluted, diabolical thought process that I could think of. But it happens in life. It happens with people. It happens in families. It happens in support groups. And I think it should not happen. It doesn't make for you to be a strong, good supporter. If that's how you navigate people, they can do whatever they want to people. No repercussions, and people should just take it. That's twisted. There's something wrong with your thought process if you think that way. Because that's my child. They can do whatever they want to do. Don't you do nothing to my child. Baby, where are you living in? That's not life. That's not real life. Maybe delusional foolishness in your brain. We're going to hop off this topic because I could be on it for a real long time. And we ain't going to do that. Listen, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Please drop down some comments and let me know what you think about that. Holding people accountable, being a positive support group, a part of a support group, um, telling people that you care about them is why you don't want them to keep being out here disrespecting other people. Like, pipe down. Don't do that. Be a better person. Because somebody can get fed up and not just react. They can put an end to things, if you know what I mean. How you feel about that? Or do you think that people should mind their business and support loved ones and family because they're loved ones and family, and it doesn't matter what they do. No one should correct them. If anybody put that in the comments, I'm gonna drop you my number, and you gonna need to call me because we need to have a one-on-one talk. If you think people should not hold people accountable just because they care about them and love them. Listen, y'all, I'm gone. I'm gonna see you all next time.